ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
So, welcome back to the ESL Pro League. We had a bit of an upset, I guess, on paper in the previous game.
Pretty massive upset, but discussing it outside, it's got some interesting points raised. The fact they've obviously got like Katowice next week and stuff like that, and they're in the boot camp right now, probably wanted to show they can still perform these official games and get things sorted. Yeah. And taking EnVyUs to double overtime and winning as well, that's actually a pretty incredible performance from VP, and actually coming out on top, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, and if that wasn't hard enough, though, they now have Mirage coming up next, which is another, classically a good map for Virtus.Pro, but then more recently, a far greater map overall for EnVyUs, so another big task to be having to deliver on, and Taz being an outstanding player in the last matchup, joined by Neo as well. Varying amounts of players stepping up when required there.
Yeah, absolutely. Winning big clutch situations as well, like something we haven't really seen from them online recently. Obviously been struggling a lot in all aspects of their game especially, but those clutches 4-on-2 were just with their map point as well, and that was absolutely everything for them. So we go into Mirage, as you said, classically a VP map, but obviously the current form does not suggest that. But from what we've seen today, hopefully they can roll back the years a little bit and bring back to 2015. We'll see what they can bring to the table. EnVyUs with a very loose play style on this map. I love the way they approach this map, just walking into a bomb site like with lots of contact play, and it should be a very close affair, I reckon. Actually, after seeing that, I wouldn't be surprised if we went down to the wire once again.
See, I want to have that mentality, but I feel that surely Envy are just going to stop it. But then again, you saw how annoyed, I'm pretty sure you were just finished casting when MBK walked past after that game against Fnatic, and how very much angry he was at his team as well. It wasn't just like I had a bad game. He was literally like, we just didn't turn up.
That's when he went so sick in the drop-down area, but Fatmas and stuff, he was like making sure every time he had people to kill, he was killing them. It was the upper platform that's a problem. No one seemed to be actually making things happen. It was every other area of the map that kind of forgot what was going on. That's when Olofmeister was walking in and killing everyone. And he's like, what's going on? Why is there a refrag there? How is this happening, right? So they managed to drop the first map. Obviously, it's every map is like a new game essentially. So VP have finally got a points in E-League. They actually got their first, they've gone 1-8 now. So at least getting something into this one.
So it's going to be Kenius against the rest of Envy. As does seem as though the VP guys are trying to sort things out, I guess, in their bootcamp when they are all playing together. I guess if anyone has any issues, everyone has issues, so they'll be fixing that up. I believe they're just restarting their routers, so that should be done nice and quickly. And Envy just get to chill out and look around Mirage and think about how they were the first team to lose that first game against Virtus.Pro. It must be kind of annoying as well. Like, you're playing against a team like Virtus.Pro, you're like, all right, they're 0-8, we're fine, we're good here, don't worry about it, guys. And then you're that first team to drop the first map. You just don't want to be that team, but it is what it is, and Envy will have to recover as they go along. They are a team that should be more than veterans by now to be able to go for the reset. But then again, MBK is quite a vocal person, and he is quite emotionally invested, I guess, in the way he plays and how he feels about the game. And when you're an in-game leader, now that he is in that position, does that change the dynamic, do you feel, to the ability to reset? Or do you think he's of the experience now where that's not a factor?
It's not like he's been in a sort of ton of time, right? Obviously, it was only at Star Ladder, which was only like maybe a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. And that's when he first came in as the in-game leader, and there was some very interesting decisions being made in terms of the force buys and everything like that, and you can see him struggling a little bit. Since then, they've got Maniac coming in and kind of helping him out, kind of being there in every game. I didn't see his name on the server. Maybe I think he's like a stag do right now. That's why he wasn't actually at Barcelona.
Yeah, at Barcelona. I think there was a personal reason why he wasn't there. I think it was one of a really good friend's stag do, or something along those lines.
He told me it was his best friend's wedding or stag do or something.
Which is kind of understandable. That's it is a job at the end of the day. You can get time off.
When it's the one event they come in 5th place, you're just like, damn.
Big difference, maybe.
Well, to be fair, that's that whole alliance breakdown thing. Right? That's what was so cool about that tournament, the fact that we actually had those storylines. That's what our event's all about. Like, even you can make the alliances, but at the end of the day, people are going to play for what's best for their own team. They don't care if you're friends for years and years, come from the same country and all that stuff. They're just like, you know what, we're just going to throw you to the wolves. You guys are done. And at the end of the day, they're just trying to get as high a placement as they can. The higher you get, the more money it means. So it actually completely made sense. But you saw how much it affected EnVyUs going into their future games from that. When they sat down, this looked so annoyed with the situation. But for me, like, if I was in that, I said, well, guys, do you know what? I'll remember this one going forward. Like, if you ever need a favor from us, like, screw you, that's it.
I can admit, you know, that's the thing at the end of the day. I do remember walking outside and there was Happy talking to the guys from G2, and he was not best pleased, but still smiling, still jovial. But I can imagine deep down inside, it's like.
I think it looked like it affected Kenny the most. He looked so frustrated.
Kenny was livid as well. Even when they lost, he literally didn't say a word, just stood up, shook the hands of Fnatic, and went off stage. Absolutely no time for it. It was just very, very frustrating. And that's the thing. A lot of the EnVy guys are quite emotional players as well. Kenny being one of them, MBK being another. They are very emotionally attached to the way they play. And sometimes being a superstar player, you kind of have to not necessarily get over that, but you have to keep it in check. You know, when you play well, it's brilliant. But when you have a bad game, when you get frustrated by external factors, you're going to see that kind of maybe having an influence. At the moment, though, you know, games like this shouldn't be a factor. But then again, you know, this is still a big deal.
I think losing to VP, like, everyone's expecting them to be the heavy favourites here, and considering the form VP are in right now, it's very frustrating. Obviously, this league is massive, and EnVyUs want to make sure they qualify. And obviously, they probably more than likely still will. This doesn't affect them too badly, obviously, but still, they want to be showing that they're still a contender for like the top team in the world, and they want to have a flawless online season to show what they can do. And losing to VP here, and that's going to pit them on tilt slightly. I think it's one of those things of, wow, okay, we actually have to start really playing now. We're up against the ropes here. Let's not make sure we go down 2-0 to VP.
Because you think about the first rounds that EnVy were bringing out on their T side, they were super aggressive, super like all in, just alright, let's just charge through towards the sites, just this kind of Hail Mary plays almost. Yeah. And it's fair. You kind of want to get into people's heads sometimes. You want to be like, screw it. We're not going to be coming into this with this super, you know, serious mentality. We want to take our, you know, just give you guys a reminder that we are the better team. But then you think back to it when it's that close. Imagine if they just took a little bit more of a touch of care to those couple of rounds that maybe
that's
caused
the thing,
a few
like, especially like on the pistol of Cobble, right? They just, instead of doing the traditional kind of slow B take and like molotoving a few key areas and smoking it off, flashing over, they just went, you know what, we're just going to Glock armor and go down and connect damage, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying that's like a bad thing to do or something, but it's just like one of those things. Like, why wouldn't you just do what you normally do? Like, why are you just running in and giving like the best player on the map, Snacks, who is very strong in that position? Why are you just running in and making it such a almost 50-50? I guess it almost favours the CT if they're set up correctly for and waiting for you. As soon as they find that first frag, it's a very interesting procedure. And they went, what, 6-0 down? That's when we had the kind of a few stream issues there, but we missed what happened. But they finally got back into it and got some rounds on the board. But I think we're going to jump over to some analysts.
As we do have a couple of minutes, I assume, while Virtus.Pro sort themselves out, we're going to take the time to actually hear from the analysis guys about what they thought about the previous matchup, this map coming in. So guys, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much. We were told they're actually going to be changing server, so we've got a few minutes to talk.
Yeah.
After being massively behind on schedule, we are now. Because double overtime, it does that for you. Let's talk about that map. Obviously, they've just briefly hit it, but Taz getting 40 kills in there, hitting a big 40 bomb, hit 30 plus, way before the round ended as well. He was carving open A site over on the T side quite convincingly. Kenny and Apex had to struggle with him.
Yeah, it's actually kind of reminiscent of what we saw from, I think it was the Cologne game that Kenny and Apex had, where Titan at the time had, 14 rounds up against, the now EnVy team. And they just couldn't get a frag on that A-bomb side. And it kind of felt the same way, seeing Taz just shredding them to pieces over and over again. And not just only Taz, but having Neo there actively being really aggressive with the op, finding opening picks as well. And it just created so much space for them. And you can see that even though VP, could have easily waddled into that A-bomb side, they oftentimes would have, taken a step back, gone back towards that B-bomb site where Posh is just lurking the entire time, creating even more space. They're just gaining map control as EnVy are forced to rotate. So they played a brilliant T side, and I think also their CT side, even though we didn't get to see all of it, it seemed pretty good, because if you can get 8 rounds on the CT side of Cobble, you're doing something right.
They had a 6-0 start, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was the big part of it.
That was they had that terrific start, and then EnVy started to wake up a little bit. Don't know if this was their first map of the night. Seems like it, but it usually, EnVy usually fall victim to that. Yeah, exactly. The slow start, get their heads going, get their heads into the game. Unfortunately, it's pretty horrible to give 6 rounds to the CT side of Cobble right off the bat like that. Like, this should be like a heavily T-sided map. It should be the CTs struggling quite a bit with their setups, and it's all just about like rotations now on CT side Cobble, because there's so few options to get information on the CT side and to try and control things. It's not like Mirage or Cash where you can go for these standard like default plays like flash and A main, peek, get info. Like that sort of stuff isn't really there for the CT side on Cobble. So it's a lot more on like feel on, okay, do we know our opponents, right? This is what they like to do. These are their tendencies, and then we'll play off of that. I mean, it's good that you point out, and Kenny and Apex as perhaps like the weak link right now on that CT defense, because it seems like it's always been that. It always seems to be like when they're on and they're clicking, everything is wonderful. But it seems like a few times they'll come into it and it's just like they play too individual of each other. Like it'll be Kenny up and A long, and then Apex down an underpass, and then there's no way for them to support each other, and then one dies and then the other one's screwed because then he's got to worry about the flank, and they need to kind of Kenny and Apex, the two of them need to just sit down together on a server.
There was that final round, wasn't there? And double overtime where they went for the peak. They had no reason to. They'd already got the information. They already knew people were there. And then for some reason, Apex decides, KO flashes him out. Kenny flashes Apex out, and then Apex dies, so Kenny just goes, I'll peek as well. And then obviously both died, and suddenly, boom, sights wide open, lost the round, lost overtime, lost the game.
Yeah, seems slightly impatient from EnVy or the duo on A, and that might come down to the fact that they had so much struggle previously in the game with actually holding back VP when they were slow pushing both mid and A halls, and they kind of wanted to take matters into their own hand. And I guess if you're gonna peak, do it together. That's better than doing it one by one. But still, they were set up in a really good position where they could actually have Kenny just work his bait. If he can get a quick frag on the first guy crossing the corner, that's magnificent. It's still going to buy time for Apex, regardless of what happens, and you can actually get somewhat of a favorable trade and at least slow down VP a tiny bit and allow for rotations to come in. But no, VP, especially on that A-bombs, it just seemed a tiny bit impatient and not really well coordinated.
There was a lot of highlight reels as well. I mean, the Kenny has had that crazy 2v1. Keo himself, actually, we were talking about Taz. Taz got like 40 frags in there. Keo had 37 as well. We shouldn't discredit him. He did a lot of retaking.
There was a clear example of also something that NBK, he was on a talk show recently with Fallen, with YNK, and with Thorin, obviously, right? And they were talking about, the round difference changes, the bomb changes, and sort of stuff like that, right? And NBK, after a moment, he decided to highlight some of the issues that they're working on right now in the team. And one of the big ones that he said is, this tendency for the French, for his players, basically, his teammates to, in CT side, peek for info, but then rather than back off and play off that info, stay and re-peek and try and take the fight and win the duel and just go in their man mode and rah, and right. Yeah. And he's trying to really get in these guys no, just in certain situations it's always smarter to just peek, get the info, fall back, change up your position and wait, right, and then you'll get rewarded for that. And it was fun because there was this one round on CT side where I was just there we go, Kiyoshima, he was up on plateau, he's playing behind boxes, drop gets pressured and he goes for the peek. And you could tell there was this mental battle going on where it's just because he goes away, right, and then
forcibly,
and you see him where he's hesitating, and I'm just don't do it, Keo, don't do it, don't go for the repeat. And he falls off the plateau. I'm oh, Keo, you did it, man, you did it. That was it. Because then he gets below and he gets 2 kills as they come out of plateau. So instead of just dying outright by trying to challenge again, bam, he falls back and he plays really smart, sexy CS. So both of these teams are currently in works in progress, right? Yeah. All teams are always evolving, but both of these teams in particular right now, they're really trying to change, how they're approaching the game. VP, they had a horrendous start to the beginning of the year, and just now are we starting to see them break that streak, right, with this win over EnVy, but it wasn't pretty, it wasn't clean, right? There's still a lot of work to be done there, and clearly EnVy, they still have some work to do too. It's just cool to see that clear example of Keo where it's just no, wait, NBK's going to beat me up if I repeat.
Exactly. He's in the same room this time, right?
Yeah, he's down the end of the row. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff from Keo in there. Like I said, Taz, fantastic stuff. There was that anti-eco in there, that one moment where they VP honestly should have won it in regular time with ease, but kind of screwed up. But I'm told they are about ready to go, guys. Okay, so it's going to be Mirage. It is going to be EnVy versus Virtus.Pro. Your casters are Pansy and Henry G.
Thank you very much, guys. It's actually really good to hear from the desk. Gives us a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Just get to chat for a second. But no, a great point brought up by Semler as well is the mental discipline and the individual discipline of some of these EnVy players. If they take the fights and if they fall off the back of getting that mildly aggressive information on the CT side and how it affects the play out of the rest of this game. And I'm wondering what they're going to come in mentally wise in towards this one after having suffered a bit of a surprising loss, let's say, on Cobble. Kind of being reminded hey guys, maybe we need to take that thought once again to mind. As it does seem as though the Virtus.Pro turned up to play today. So we'll be going into the second map here, and it will be the knife round. We haven't missed a second of the action. And I'm very interested to see if this actually carries through for Virtus.Pro now.
Well, we'll see. I feel like knife
You're not going to call it in the knife round?
Not the knife round. I like to do
need 2 rounds?
I need to see the pistol first, and then I can start giving you a detailed analysis.
And the ideal scoreline on the half.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. Well, we'll see what goes on. Like the night fan not massively important here. Like Mirage is like one of those maps. It just depends what you feel more comfortable on. Most teams will be opting for the CT side here, and it looks like Snacks will be winning this. Please just get it over with. Come on.
Please, no one can cast a knife round. There we go. Snacks will at least do the job. So Virtus.Pro get to pick whichever side they wish to start on. And you would assume CT side would be their choice, and I can imagine it will be.
I'm sure it will. And again, we'll be starting. There it is. So we obviously saw EnVyUs with a very interesting pistol approach on towards Cobble, maybe a little bit overconfident. We'll see how they approach this one. Most teams will be going for 2 smokes and have flashbangs as well, and you normally go for a slow round at the start, see what the CT to bring in, then you'll go for a full-on execute. So there's Apex with the first smoke. I assume MBK will be buying smoke and flashbangs himself. And there it is. So he gets those picked up. We'll have a look at the VP buy as well. We've actually got a CZ on towards Snack. That suggests a very aggressive solo play from him, and now there's Pasha going up towards middle as well, so he's being backed up, so they're all in on this round. As we can see, he's joined by Taz as well.
Look at the face from window as well. Neo and Bialy instantly facing towards mid, maybe assuming something, but I like this from Virtus.Pro, trying to get that information early, and Snacks is going to be in a wonderful place with that CZ. At least that first clip will do beautiful damage. This
is what I mean. You're going up against aggressive, got a gun that has spray down potential as well, but Pasha's made it all the way towards T-spawn as well. Snacks now, with that information, will be pushing in, and that's the problem. Like the problem is his teammate gets so much control of the map. Pasha is responding though straight away. It takes the turn on Apex, so it's not over just yet.
And MBK and Apex putting those smokes in towards, hey, hello Neo, nicely done, and slows it down for a second. Finds Happy Neo with a beautiful triple. That's the Neo that we were looking for, and I thought this one was all but done, but no. MBK now, one of the players originally put those smokes towards A, joining Apex, has got a long way to go and a hell of a lot of Polish players to work his way through, and he doesn't get a step towards the side. Pasha stops it, but what a performance from Neo there.
That was absolutely crazy. Like I said, when Pasha got towards T-spawn, it was also almost detrimental to his team there, because they gave so much info, and Snacks pushes the B tunnels, and then all of a sudden Neo comes to life there. You can see it's a bit of a mess from EnVyUs. Like they're planting, they think they have cover, but he jumps out a window, does some serious work there, and actually brings it in without a bomb being planted as well. So far so good for VP. That's a very strong run after losing the first frag. So EnVyUs now will be forcing into this one once again. Kenny not going to get that arm ace. It's going to have a P250. They don't have utility to work with, but they have got Desert Eagles, and they can be very effective in Mirage.
This is a new couple of pieces from Virtus.Pro as well. This may be what they were talking about in, wait to see what we have here, because they are bringing out a couple of different plays. That initial aggression on the pistol was something with the double face from windows, not what we've seen from them at all, if I'm trying to think back to memory. But as you notice, of course, Envy going on a little bit of a buy here with those Deagles coming out, looking for a couple of picks, a couple of pieces to do, and Bialy gets a touch tagged up early, but there's no one there to really follow off the back of it. And Virtus.Pro do have those 3 players dedicated towards A, and while this happens, everyone else kind of converging towards middle.
Yeah, so far, quite a passive setup from VP. We can see EnVyUs just trying to work anything they can with these pistols. Unable to do much yet. They have landed a little bit of damage on towards Bialy. They have got towards Connector as well. They've actually found that's the kill onto Bialy. Now it's up to Pasha. Can't really do anything with it. It's Taz now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Players coming from all angles here. Needs to find at least one. It's going to be Neo that steps up though. Drops the bomb. At least buys him some time here in the 2 versus 3.
Just, I guess, EnVyUs giving Virtus.Pro enough rope to hang themselves with. Going to switch up to the different player with the M4. It was Snacks who had more HP left, and well, he's put some great work into it initially, but as Kenny S taking matters into his own hands this round, 4 kills, 2 of those with the Deagle, 2 now closed out, and they've been able to upgrade towards the higher value rifles as well. Fantastic stuff from Envy, but Virtus.Pro was giving Envy too much room to work then.
Yeah, it seems so. The fact they got in towards Connector, and Bialy on the bomb side didn't even seem to be aware that might be a possibility, like he isn't even looking towards Connector. He's like, it's so sure that he's going to be backed up by a teammate, or someone will be watching it, and he's taken him down with relative ease, and that's going to be a semi-force by coming in from VP. They've got a scout on towards Neo, and 2 players investing in body armor, just some upgraded pistols on the Snacks and Bialy, but EnVyUs definitely bouncing back to this impeccable style there. Kiyoshima with the M4 trying to work a pick towards B. Snacks may give him something to work with here as well. It's actually a little bit of an overcommitment from him, but gets away with his life. And you can see EnVyUs is trying to bleed out the CT now, working out what's going on. A little bit of a push from Pasha towards middle by himself. Will be backed up now by Neo. But Kenny S just still playing very defensively,
Now they're going to know that there's more than likely 2 players pushed up in mid. I wonder if they're going to try and push one of these sides. They do have their players originally lined up by that B position, but adjusting, trying to get a full idea as to what Virtus.Pro are bringing into this round. Taz can still be integral here. He can at least cut off what Happy's intending to do.
This
He
is
needs to do it
just
in the right time.
It's just classic Happy, though. He plays his Palace area every single round pretty much and somehow gets away with it. Everyone knows what he does, but some reason he's just so smart in this position and so aware of every situation that's going on. So he has got a player beneath him. Pasha on the steps as well. It's looking like more of an A split coming in. They're waiting for the smoke to dissipate before they make their next move, but it's going to be Neo towards the B. Apartments actually taking down Kenny S, and now they actually have a real chance here to answer back. Happy does get a grenade kill. Kiyoshima chimes in as well, but it's still a 3-on-3.
Good damage done there by Virtus.Pro, but this shouldn't spiral too far beyond this as the rifles are going to come into play, and there's no element of surprise left here. Both players now noted, Neo and Bialy showing their hand. Bomb taking its time to be collected there by EnVyUs, but that will be trailed over towards the site, and it's going to need something impressive from Neo and Bialy to pull this one through. Neo is looking for a chance here. One player towards Connector, however, is going to make that difficult for him. That's MBK holding it, and Bialy not going to find the shot towards Kyo there. And now Neo, MBK. Okay. There we go. Turns around eventually.
A little bit sloppy at the end there, but MBK does pick up the kill. Neo does get that jumping shot with the scout. You thought maybe they had something to work with there, but as soon as the bomb gets planted, it's such an open position where it's like, it's open for Connector, it's open for lower ramp. There's not really much the CTs can do there without kits to have any real footing into that one, but it's going to be EnVyUs getting 2 in a row there, and VP not able to do too much there with the force, but they will be on a full eco pretty much this time. They've got a couple of, well, one P250, and you would assume this is almost a throwaway round. EnVyUs should be finishing this off pretty quickly.
Snax does have a couple of flashes he wanted to use towards mid, and that's the first one. You can see that Virtus.Pro are looking to try and find a couple of kills here by kind of pushing out, but it's to absolutely no avail as the kills going back to back. And Apex took a little bit of damage there. It could have been a possible pickup, but not going to be the case. And a clean round for Envy, certainly needed after the, you know, a couple of bits of damage coming through from Virtus.Pro early on. But this is the round that I'm going to be curious about. What does Virtus.Pro have bringing themselves into this gun round now?
Well, this is the thing. After the second round, force spawn, you lose that round. It's pretty much everything's fully invested. Definitely won't have an AWP. They have one kit, no incendiary. Oh, actually, have one incendiary. My mistake on towards Snack. And it's looking like they may go a little bit more aggressive here. Bialy's going to be jumping out the window, joined by Pasha as well. Similar to what we saw in the pistol round, going all in here. But the T's still in a very passive mentality. I've got Kenny S a little bit overcommitted to this one. Manages to get the kill somehow. Capitalizes on that one. Grenade takes him down though. Good reply coming in from Bialy, but it's just kills all over the place. The Apex comes towards the underpass. Neo's waiting for the response from the T's. He's the one that gets punished now, and now it's going to be a B bomb site taken. Snax had a great opportunity there to take one player down, but gets flashed out of position, and that's pretty much the round over, Lauren, because the bomb's going to go down. They don't have the kits, and then you have one smoke to work with as well.
As soon as they saw all of the hands of, I guess, the cards that Virtus.Pro had in hand, they just worked straight in towards B, and the one player who was there, as you said, just got flashed down. He could do very little to affect it.
Well, this is the thing, like, obviously when you're so on the back foot in terms of the utility and the equipment, you need to be making something happen. You need to be going, finding that first frag and take the game towards a terrorist. But Kenny S there, I'm not sure how he survived. Like, he did get taken out on the grenade in the end, but the fact he got that first kill and got the intel as to what was going on, and Neo just had the M4 to hold off Apex, and you have to wake up pretty early in the morning to be him and an Angel. I think Apex did get dinks in the process, but he comes out on top. B bomb side's open for sale at that point, and it's just one player waiting for them. Gets taken down pretty much straight away, flashed out of position, and only one player dropped for EnVyUs. So looking very strong now. VP do manage to save 2 rifles here. There's still something to work with this round. They could drop maybe a couple of Famouses and try and force up in that manner, but it would be another difficult procedure going forward. They're going to be forcing with the looks of things. Neo bringing out the scout, and M4's purchase. So let's see, they could have dropped the Famous, I think. I think they probably have. Oh, and actually double scouts. Okay. Interesting. Obviously, Mirage is one of those maps where you have the B apartments, you have the jumping potential towards there, and then you can do similar things on the A-bomb side as well. So we'll see what they can do with this, but it's a definite high-risk maneuver. Neo going off towards short with this scout. Not going to be opting for those B apartments.
And Snax is going to be holding it as well.
Oh, he's
with
got the
his
other
scout, so I
yes,
guess
yeah.
Best of both worlds with the scout, if you can find that. I think there's pretty, all that many positives to having it if you could have a choice, but Neo does make at least a good impact play, expects the peak there coming out from underpass, and Taz now going to support perfectly. Lovely play from Taz on the crossfire, and look at this play coming in hand from Virtus.Pro, making it hard work for EnVyUs to try and punish Neo for being out on shore, and now you're going to see Kenny and Happy having to dig deep to pull this one back in, split up throughout the map. Happy in a, let's say, a traditional position for him, and Kenny now having to work either his way through towards Happy or try and stay alive for a second here.
As I'm talking about with Happy's control of that palace area, he's going to stay there for now, and Kenny S still alive. This round still has a few more twists and turns, I believe, and that is one of them, as Happy does take down Bialy on the A site. Attack coming in onto Kenny S from one of those scouts. Oh, lovely shot from Pasha though, and bring the round heavily in their favour. Just Happy to push for a smoke here. 2 players on the screen, difficult position for him, and it's Virtus.Pro with a difficult buy. Somehow come out on top and salvaging an AWP as well. You just saw so much mid aggression there. They're coming in for the connector, flashing over, and Taz finding 2 players on his screen. And that's exactly what they needed. It was Neo who found the initial tag as well, so that helps out tremendously. And somehow VP bounced back, but the money's still very strong for EnVyUs going forward. They have 5 AKs, and Kiyoshima, even after the rebuy, he's got $6,700, so they're okay going forward. And you can see Neo keeping his scout as well, so this is a big round for the CTs. Need to make sure they win this one, or they were to drop it. Could be very detrimental to their cash indeed, but so far, more of a B approach coming in from EnVyUs. No one's sent towards the A side of the map at all. We have Kenny S going towards middle, quickly actually, and Neo just with that scout, got his work cut out.
Yeah, he knows he's caught off here, but he still does a little bit of damage. Kenny down to 28, but Pasha's there to babysit. Taz comes in as well, and suddenly all the options that are available are now limited. EnVy are down to just this B hit. Snacks there with the AWP. He's going to try and hold this one on as Keo and Happy try and piece it together, but a nice quick peek from Snacks, joined by Pasha in the end to close it down. And Virtus.Pro starting to get a grips with what EnVy are trying to do here. Yeah,
absolutely. It's just Neo there. That's a really smart play. So he got that tag on towards Kenny S, and you would assume he'd have fallen back at that stage, but he just comes running back around the corner as Kenny S has a grenade in his hand as well, just takes him down the USP. It's that kind of play that makes Neo just such a master of CS. Like, he's so aware of what's going on and what the enemy's probably thinking, and he just comes around and secures them a kill, and great stuff from Snacks out of the AWP to finish things off. So EnVyUs now going for a more traditional approach. They're going to be going for a full A-side execute with the smoke grenades. They normally try and plant in between the bomb side boxes with a smoke in the middle, and then they'll fall back and then hold a post-plant situation. Let's see how this one goes down for them. They are going to be smoked out by BLS. Going to hold them off. Yeah, difficult prospect for them to get out.
Yeah, interesting position as well. Going to negate one of the smokes, but actually they line up for Bialy. He does get one. Now Pasha, no smoke in towards CT, has free reign, but Happy just takes the fight with him, and suddenly we're not looking so good on the Virtus.Pro side. EnVyUs being confident to take that fight towards CT. And just going full in on this one. Now Snacks and Neo on the retake. Snacks through CT. Neo working his way through connected just by jungle. I see one player still tucked in towards the corner, that being Happy. And EnVy can just sit back and buy the time, and EnVy falling back to something that seems to be working quite well so far. But Neo finds Apex. Nade's going to push Kenny down pretty darn low. That's 11 HP, and there comes Neo. Now surely they're going to check for Happy, and Neo again. How many times can this guy deliver in these situations? As the bomb will be defused by Snacks, but my word, Neo's finding form here. I thought it was just Taz having a good day, but...
Oh, this guy is the absolute master of those clutch situations. Really strong retake from them. You have to feel like EnVyUs maybe giving a little bit too much away to even give them the opportunity to find those frags. It was Neo coming in, decent grenade from CD Spawn, does a lot of damage on the player on Tetris. That helps him out, and he comes in, finds all the frags, locks it down, and gets a massive defuse coming in as well. So EnVyUs there, after getting a really successful entrance on the bomb site, looking at the man advantage, the bomb planted, you think, okay, that's it. EnVyUs going to bounce back after that one, but slowly but surely, VP are chipping away at the cash here for EnVyUs. You can see the buy is not as strong as it was before. They still have the smoke grenades and the AKs, but no Molotovs. There's another fast A attack coming in.
Going full Dane style with the play out towards A. No smokes in place yet, but they're just going to go for the straight up fights. Now, Kio's actually going to win it out in the end. He's going to trade there with Bialy, who did manage to take down Apex, but they are stepping towards it by sandwich just by Tetris, and they're still looking for these fights. No smokes in place. They don't even have any to hand. MBK found Pasha, but how much can he do here? Surely this is going to become eventually a Virtus.Pro round, but then again, here comes the damage from Connector. Great play eventually coming in there from Happy on, I guess what you could call the luck, and it's now again Neo in the 1v3 situation. This time, it can't happen again.
Or can it? He gets the first kill, looking like he may get a second as well. Kenny S doing just enough to stay alive here. Jumps up on the box, and Kiyoshima just coming out in time, but definitely looked a little bit scary for them as they came into the retake. Neo did what he could, but they do lose the round. You can see their money hasn't really got rolling yet. Snacks has got 9 grand, and Neo has 6, so they're actually going to be going for the force here. I feel like Snacks can drop a Famous and an M4 if he wanted to, so maybe this actually will be okay. It's definitely going to be a difficult round for them, but definitely not out of the fray just yet.
Yeah, Neo with a good spawn to take the mid peak. Last time it was Snacks who picked up the AWP and took it over towards the B site, but Neo this time going to be the guard towards mid, and he has been playing on short until this point, so maybe looking to adapt and heading through to an interesting spot there, going towards underpass quite early on. And Virtus.Pro, if they slow down EnVy here, he could be in a very good position to get all this information, and Snacks now knows what's coming his way. He's going to back from sight, wait for the retake, Neo adjusts, and there you have it. Look at this play, lovely crossfire again from Virtus.Pro. EnVy playing into their hands as Happy and MBK just get denied, and Neo being integral to supporting Snacks here. And now it's just MBK having to run that B gauntlet as the bomb is now dropped, and the damage comes through, and there's Snacks to close.
That's super solid there coming from VP. It's Neo towards that short area that all the flashbangs come over in the world. Is Snacks who's fallen back, giving the information towards Neo, and somehow Neo gets 2, and it's really nice spray down coming in from Snacks, so controlled. Takes down Kenny S and Apex there, punishes them, and all of a sudden I think that's finally EnVyUs broken now. They're going to have the pistols, but that's a super strong hold. They're looking like they're coming to life here on the CT side. It's going to be 5-5 now, going to round number 11, and EnVyUs not really much to work with. Gonna have Techno and body armor on Kenny S, but no utility to speak of. Just be trying to work pure kills here, and that's one of them. Headshot onto Pasha opens things up for Kirishima.
Neo again, going to be the one to start things off for them. Beautiful plays from him so far. There is one man lurking down towards underpass, if I'm not mistaken. There for the Envy side, that is going to be Apex. Maybe a pinch towards A coming through, but then again, they do only have these pistols, but then again, it's only Envy, so you can never write them off in these. They can be deadly. There's a nice little distraction play. Pulls Apex's gaze towards where they heard the vent break, but now he's down to 2. Happy and Kenny do recover a rifle, but can't get much done. But Kenny did at least find one while this happened. That was Neo going. And now bomb site looking possibly vulnerable here. Great stuff from Kenny. He does get spotted out in the end, but he's going to probably get a plant for this. I don't think anyone's close enough to stop it.
Yeah, there's one player on shore, but he's making the right decision here. Gets a decent plant now for window. You actually get back in there as well, you know. This could actually be a little bit interesting. It's going to be Bialy. It has to be very careful indeed. Needs to be waiting for his teammate before he makes his commitment, but going to be walking in, and that's the kill NES required to make this viable. Like I said, it's a perfect plan for this situation. Snacks, the problem is, no, he has a smoke in hand, so he's definitely going to make this uncomfortable for Kenny.
How's Kenny going to play this one? He's got Snacks up against him with the orb. The smoke's obviously going to go down. It does cover the site. Snacks fakes it. He goes now onto what is the full. The flash comes out, and Snacks turns it. He's looking for Kenny. He gets the shot as well, but he doesn't have a kit.
This could be very close. I don't think he's got it.
The new timer's terrifying. I think he's got it.
He's got it. Oh!
No, he doesn't! Last second! Kenny, what a goddamn play. That was, what, 2 kills then? And playing the timer.
That's crazy. Like, after Snacks gets that amazing shot through the smoke with the orb there, close range, and the defuse comes in, it was so 50-50 for me. When he started the defuse, I thought, okay, like, there's a chance he could get it, but
second difference.
I think it was less than that. It was very close. When it just hits that beep, that's when you know you're at the point of no return. But Kenny S in the 2-on-1 gets the bomb down, gets in towards kitchen, and he brings EnVyUs back to life. That's actually a really sick round from him. So VP definitely back on the losing team instead of the economy. You can see the scouts back out. That hasn't been a problem for Neo, it has to be said, but Bialy on the Famous, they haven't got a single kit once again, so going back towards this mid-aggression, and the problem is Kenny S waiting for them as well. Lucky to still be alive, Bash, I have to say.
Here comes the other 2 players from underpass. They have to fall back. You can see instantly Virtus.Pro going, oh god guys, get the hell out of there. A little bit of a boost coming through. Apex might be the one to try and challenge this. The players are slowly filtering back in towards Connector, and Taz again punishing these guys, but he will eventually trade out, and Keo gets 2 for his money as MBK finds Pasha sitting in towards window and is down to this 2v2 here. Neo again going to have to keep hold of things if they decide to go B, but, excuse me, if they decide to go A, and Snacks is over at B.
So, Neo, they're doing what he can with the scout towards short, but the problem is Snacks has gone down on the other side of the map. They're exactly aware of where Neo will be holding this. So short plan will come down.
They are low though, Henry.
They are low, and he has picked up an AK as well, so he definitely has a chance going to this one. He still doesn't have a kit, so he needs to act fast. They've done the short plan, but obviously got to be aware that they are not there as he takes down MBK towards the apartments. But Kenny is there well with the orb.
Will he predict 2 players being in apartments as well?
I don't think he would. That's kind of an interesting approach with the smoke. Definitely boosts his percentage chance here.
Kenny should hit the shot every day of the week and just about catches a glimpse of him in the end on the verge of that smoke. So Kenny keeping, once again, these rounds filtering through for Envy, but this is a very close game between the 2. You can argue that Neo's been doing the same thing for Virtus.Pro, but a great game from both players, and I'd love to see the scoreboard against each other. You can see it already. Kenny on 11 and Neo on 15, and hard to split them 2 apart. Neo's been clutching out, and Kenny's been playing absolutely integral CS for their boys. So 5-7.
Well, that's another massive round there. Another 1v1 clutch. This time, once again, it's Kenny S to win. And that's going to be horrible for VP's money now. They're going to be pretty much a full eco here. Just 1 PT50 purchased. But it's just coming down to these 1v1s on every single time. Just couldn't separate these 2 right now. Coming right down to the wire. 7 plays 5 in favour of EnVyUs. And actually it was Kirishima towards Connector last round that made such important frags there. They lose the first one, Taz picking up that, and then Kirishima comes back with a really nice spray down with the AK-47. So this time, they're spotting up towards short. I know Neo likes to play that area, but up against a full eco, this should be a pretty much runaway round for the French side here.
Should be very comfortable. As you said, there is only a PT50. There's very little else there to do some work with. Apex gets a little close on that one, but it's happy doing the damage, and for once not being in Palace. And Taz is going to get a second to work with here, actually. Going to spot out Apex.
Okay.
Takes that shot. A little bit maybe quick on the trigger then, but I guess you might as well try and do something. Happy's low as well, but now Snacks...
He was waiting until he had the moment for a guaranteed kill, right? Seeing what's available for him when he realised he's going to have to expose himself to get more of it. He thought, I'll just take this kill. Pay off my debts for the P250. And it's just going to be Snacks remaining now with the USB in hand, and not really much to work with at all. Kenny takes him down, and EnVyUs take them around the wins them the half. That's number 8. And Virtus.Pro, after that full eco, do have a reasonable amount of cash going into this one. That round was pretty simple procedure for EnVyUs, just sticking together, getting mid control, getting towards Connector and Apex, opening things up for them. So Kenny back on the AWP, and so is Neo actually. I didn't think he'd go for that. Only had $5,000, but he'll be going in with a flashbang, a decoy, no armor. And I feel like this next kill will be very important. Kenny not being defensive this time, going straight in, and may have an opportunity to take down Pasha. Just shows his arm there, and at least is baiting out the shot to work out what's going on.
And again, 4 players in towards A for EnVyUs. They're looking for this one, and actually Pasha and Taz are both pretty darn close, so this could be quite difficult. Bialy's actually tucked into the site as well, so Bialy finds Apex, and suddenly Neo's on a quick rotate. The bomb is yet to make its way towards the site, so the trades are coming through in favour to EnVyUs, you could say, as they are getting them on the site itself. And now Virtus.Pro maybe in the posture of playing retake. Now, last time they pulled this off against, I guess, tougher odds, but Snacks having to deal with MBK, can't handle it. And now MBK with full control here, looking for this one. You can see Pasha as well, taking an opportunity. No one watching CT at that angle. Allows it to come back down to a 2v2.
Oh, it's a very big round indeed. No kits once again for VP. Bomb still down. Actually recovered it. It's going to be MBK going in for the plant now. Pasha with a decent position towards CT spawn. His teammate on short as well, watching for any crosses to the bomb site. Terrorists don't actually have much utility. Just one flashbang and a HE to work with, and a difficult proposition to plant. I'm not sure that I would be going for the plant with the amount of time we have available, and you don't really have much intel. That helps tremendously though. They bait out the fake plant, and Pasha going for the facer. So they come down to the 2-on-1, but it's the master Neo up against them.
Well, I guess he knows where one flash just came from. I've just seen that gun barrel too, but can he find Happy? Where would you be holding on that cross? He knows he's got an op. He's heard the step down. He finds Happy, but he doesn't have the time for the adjustment on towards MBK, and MBK picking up 3 and then closing out the round. 9-5 now.
Yeah, just nice fundamentals in a clutch situation from EnVyUs there. One player hiding and just making sure he stays alive, and then as soon as one goes down with the AWP, he's just facing straight away and locking him down. So we go into the final round here. Number 15 and VP up against the ropes once again. There's a shotgun, there's a Nova from Snacks, a UMP and a Famis, and a double scout coming out once again. So we'll see what they can do with this. I'm going to say not much, but these guys seem like almost everything's working out for them in their force bags right now. Getting aggressive, of course, towards middle. 2 scouts actually playing in that area. EnVyUs looking for intel here towards the B apartments. Do spot one player. They'll be deciding to opt out of the round in that particular zone for now. And the bomb's just down towards the A ramp, so you'd assume VP will be flashing in somewhere soon and trying to gain something from this. Taz is towards that lower ramp with the UMP, and like I said, I would assume he'll be flashed in soon, but the problem is he's about to be flashed in by the wrong people. It's going to be the terror to take him down. Happy's the first one who gets the kill. Bialy responds straight away, comes into a 4-on-4, make it a 3, as MBK does get the second.
No, Pasha has to come back around towards CTA, completely bare of any CT player at that point. Neo trying to create some sort of hold from short again, as he did last round. However, that was with an AWP. And now the last man outside of that is going to be Snacks, who's still over by B. And the bomb, relatively hesitant as to where it's going, but the 3 players remaining for Envy do have the posture towards that B side of things. If they do go off this next couple of seconds of play, we'll have to wait and see. It does seem as though it's slowly working its way through towards the safe site. Now, let's see who's going to try and bait it in. It's Keo trying to maybe bait out the play. They're trying to say, guys, we're still going B, I promise you. I absolutely swear to God. But while this happens, you can see, I think it's Kenny heading over to join Happy, and these 2 will be looking for this A hit. But Pasha will still be waiting.
Yeah, at this point, it's about the T's bleeding, the CT's out, making sure they use every bit of utility they have. They don't really have much to work with. You can see one player towards B as Kiyashima gets taken down, but you know what, that's probably enough. Even though he gets taken down on that side of the map, CT still don't know what's going on. MBK, the spray down on towards Pasha, smoking out the scout player in towards jungle. He's going to be pushing through. This is Neo. Going to get to the steps as well, so maybe he can still do something with this, but there's so many flashes. This is relentless right now. Molotov coming in as well. It's such a difficult situation now for the CTs.
And MBK going to work off the back of that flash too. Tries to catch out Snacks, but up above it is Apex leaping into the action. And now Neo's fought hard for that half, but not going to get anything else. And MBK's play, even just coming out Palace and hitting that shot towards Pasha in CT, was pretty darn inspired. So a good half coming out for Envy now.
It's a decent half, and considering VP won the pistol as well, that's actually kind of disappointing that they got 5. They did get forced in the second round, to be fair to them, so it's obviously a little bit of a throwaway stat, but still, winning the pistol and get 5. It looked like, the thing is, every single round came down to a clutch situation, right? There was so many close rounds, came down to 2-on-1s, and then Kenny S winning that forced by with the Tech 9 into the B bomb site. There was so many difficult procedures for them. Actually, a little bit heartbreaking for the Polish squad here, but still definitely something to work with. 5 can be enough. They're just going to need the pistol going into this one. But if EnVyUs pick this one up and get the 3-0, it's almost over that stage. It's going to be almost impossible to try and get back into this against EnVyUs CT side. But we'll see what VP can do here. Obviously, we'll be taking all the time they can here to kind of discuss their approach on the pistol round. Like I said, most teams will be opting for 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs. Most of the time you end up towards the A-bomb side. Either it's smoking towards the jungle and the steps area and then flashbangs over trying to get a nice open plant down, or you can go for a straight up B rush. That's something that's very viable as well on this map.
To be fair, Envy kind of did a little bit of both because they had what it was Apex and MBK being the utility players, I guess you could call them in that round, smoking through towards A. Now, of course, in the background, there was Pasha pushing up, and he got the information. He saw those smokes going to play, so of course they all thought it was going to be an A hit. But there in the background, it was Envy looking over towards B, but the retake did come through, and it was very well dealt with. But still, 10-5 going back in. Virtus.Pro now on the T side of things, Envy on the CT, and I think you highlighted it perfectly as ever. The utility plays coming out. We've got 2 of those smokes, one with Snacks and one with Bialy, and on the other side of things, all armor.
Full sets of armor. So for me, it's one of those things that's a little bit weird. I always want to have one kit and the HE to work with, to be honest, but who knows? We'll see what EnVyUs can bring to the table. There's the smoke. It's not going to be focusing towards A. It looks like more of a B hit potentially coming in. Smoking off towards the window, and now it's going to be Happy waiting for them. Can hear all the footsteps in the world.
Oh, Happy turned it, connected towards Neo, but it was a quick trade out. But a nice smoke actually from those B apps. It has pulled all but one really of the players over from that A side. Apex is going to be a little bit late coming round 2, and Taz displaying that maybe for a man of his age, he still does have a little bit of play to the movement as well. And now down to a 3v3. Apex did find Bialy, but the bomb did get planted in the meantime. And a good plant for Connector and Short as Taz just tries to buy a couple of seconds. And Apex has none of what he was trying to give.
Yeah, Apex such a strong pistol player, especially with that silent USP. Just trying to bait out the positions now of VP with that fake defuse. MBK coming in with the backstab though. This could be Pasha remaining now. Not really in the greatest position to make this one work for him. But gets the first frag here. Unable to get the second. And this is the problem now. Obviously no kit. They should be absolutely fine in this scenario. But this is where having the kit provides you that extra 5 seconds to work with, and you're not sure where the last player is. But nice retake there. Apex picks up 3 kills, as I mentioned. A very strong pistol player. Will do that time and time again. Actually was having a difficult game before that. It's currently sat on 5 frags after the first half, but makes up for it and then some in that pistol, which I mentioned was so massive for VP. So this is where these things get interesting. We saw this in the first game of the day. When you get the bomb down, you're going for the AKs on the 3rd round run, the full buy. But obviously VP up against it a little bit right now. They did get some decent frags on the CT, so they're going to get the double AKs out now. On a map like Mirage, that can be very viable indeed. Just works on long range pits, and judging by this, they're going to go for a full-on A attack here. Taz with the Desert Eagle, but CT's with an MP9 close range. This could be very deadly indeed if he gets flashed in.
And both of the rifles are in Palace, if I'm not mistaken, and now they're going to realise what's coming their way on the EnVy side. Kenny found Pasha, but there we go. Bialy's punished Keo, and that's not even the rifles. There we go. Finally, Snacks comes out. Apex gets removed. Kenny takes a fight. He trades it, but it's now down to a 3v2, and EnVy are looking a little worse for wear here. Finally, bomb goes in. Rifle recovered. Bialy holding the site. Neo down by ramp. Happy so low, and MBK not in the best of shapes. It's going to be a tough one, really. I don't know if they can pull this one off.
Yeah, they still don't have a kit, and both terrorist players on very high HP and the AKs. They have a huge advantage going into this one. They take an absolute blunder. There's the double spray down though. Bialy, perfect time to face. And that double AK investment is just what they needed. Like I said, if they had gone down and that allowed EnVyUs to get to 13, that would have been really detrimental to them going forward. So they took the high risk, I would say, but worked out perfectly. Go towards A, and it's that close range MP9 is unable to do anything with it. And the spams onto CD Spawn as well, just take it down and open up that A site. So EnVyUs have a full spy of their own. At this stage of the game, I would say this probably you don't need to be doing. Like, you keep your money a little bit stronger. I think they would have been double eco anyway, so they're trying to see what they can do with the upgraded pistols and armor. Got a smoke and a flashbang to work with, but let's see how this one goes down. It's looking like a heavy A favoured attack from VP. Snacks just working those B apartments, but Apex behind him. He could be pretty deadly here. They're going to be aware that Snacks is doing something towards that site. Push through the smoke though, so free kill for Apex. Lovely stuff.
And they brought in, there was a couple more players there, but Bialy has nailed down Keo, and they have at least started their build towards the A site. Pasha making a bit of a meal of it there with a shot through towards Connector, and does finally make up with it on towards Kenny, but has to back away. He's down so low and does not want to lose that rifle in that position. Has to back off now and wait for Apex and Happy to show themselves. That MAC-10 probably not going to do too much. And a bit of a whiff on the spray in the end from Taz, but it's Neo to save the day, and there we go. 3 rifles saved, 1 lost.
Well, they start that Uphill struggle now to get back into this game. Big round for them though. 4 spy from EnVyUs. Doesn't amount to too much. Picked up a couple of kills, and Apex coming in with that backstab from underpass. Problem is that when they got that kill, they still weren't sure. He was smoked out of position trying to spam through it. They weren't able to get tons of information there. But VP hold on. 4 rifles, and they have 1 recon player in the form of Snacks, who will be going to the bomb sites first and using the MAC-10. But it's quite an aggressive play here from EnVyUs. They go in towards underpass here. Kenny is still towards the window, but here we go. This is the MAC-10 player going straight in, doing some serious work here. Actually only gets 1. It's Bialy that steals a 2nd kill with the flames. And just Happy remaining now with the silenced USP and 5 players to find.
Good luck, Happy. I'm sure he'll do just fine. Bialy's going to be the one to walk into it, and Bialy's one to get the kill. So, very clean round. Important that Snacks at least did get a kill with that MAC-10. I guess you can say he gets himself a little better set to upgrade if he feels the need to, which he should do coming into this one. And again, I don't know anymore.
You don't know?
I don't know.
That's
anymore.
your analysis.
I've given up.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I see the UMP being played by Fnatic for like every single round.
Well, this is the thing.
And I saw a Bison coming out as well again, which was just weird.
The Bison shouldn't be purchased in any situation. Like, to be honest,
exactly.
I'm trying to find.
Like,
I wish I could find a little bit of like a tidbit for you to say, oh no, it's actually good in this situation.
No.
There's literally no situation it's good in. But there we go. It's going to be round number 5 here. We have stabilised the money for the CTs. Kenny S smoked out towards window, trying to see if he could gather anything before the smoke went down. And Happy have got an aggressive position here towards B. Going to be backed up and kind of baited in, I guess, by MBK. But once again, they have no kit. It's been a serious problem for them. And most of the CT half, and VP going for that heavy mid control. They've completely locked it down as well. One player making his way in towards connector, and this is going to be so important. Kenny S, if he could have found that kill, would have gifted the round to EnVyUs, but he's not aware there actually is a player in connector waiting for him.
Snacks has just tucked himself in there so perfectly. Passion now being by window. As you said, they have wonderful mid control right now. This is actually quite surprising that EnVyUs let them do this much, but then again, EnVyUs are playing from the side. Snacks just saw the leg of Kenny. He was like, all right, I'm not going there.
I'm not even going to bother.
I'm going to see where else I can go, because they're trying to pinch towards B. If he can hold the rotate.
This is perfect, right?
Brilliant.
This is actually a really nice play from VP. The fact they've got a player towards jungle, just holding down the rotations, and they're going towards B now. They just need to deal with this stack coming in. You can see MBK just trying to bait in Happy all he can, just trying to make it out there. I'm just doing the jump boost, guys. Like, come get me. I'm ready. I'm yours.
They
and
check it, though.
Somehow Neo gets the no-scope. That's pretty sick. Oh, my God.
MBK's baffled. Absolutely baffled. There you go. They finally played the Snacks card. And you saw MBK going full Chris J then, but with actual reason this time, as Apex and Keo, the last 2 alive, and they're a mile away. And Virtus.Pro, piece by piece, just assembling EnVyUs CT hold then. And as you said, Snacks in such a great position. He made the most of it as well. I don't know how Neo hit that shot, because that could have been a completely different landscape of that round.
I'm surprised he's going first. If they're considering that's going to be a possibility, why would he send you all in to go for the no-scope? But that's amazing that he did that there. Really nice stuff from him. But that's almost like a dream round of Counter-Strike there. The fact you can get Snacks in that kind of position just before you execute onto a bomb site as well, you just won that round. But as soon as he gets there undetected, that's just round over. They go into it regardless of how many kills they get. Even if it's an equal exchange, the rotations are just done for. They're not going to expect him in that area whatsoever. So great work from Snacks there. And like we said, he did spot a player on the A bomb side. He could have taken the kill had he extended a little bit more, but he goes, oh, he's looking at the bigger picture. He's like, I'm going to actually set myself up for rotation kills here and make sure we get this round 100%. 5 players now for VP making their way towards the A site, looking like it'll just be a full-on contact play. Pasha going in first, and it's going to be going in for straight headshots here. And it's not going to be a headshot, but Pasha gets the first one. And you see the reaction now coming in from Apex, doing what he can, but he gets one. Pasha will be the one to take him down as well.
I love Apex with the run and gun, just spraying into
he's going, oh God, I'm done. Not me as well. Please, let me live.
But Henry.
Yes.
Is the game back on? Are you gonna? I'm gonna get a prediction out of you, because last time you were like, the prophet who came down to foretell of Virtus.Pro's.
It's good. Like I said before we went in, this game's going right down to the wire, and VP have done enough now. Yeah.
Oh.
I said this one to definitely have potential to go into this, right down to it. After all we saw from VP, it seems like I said they seem back, they seem ready, and it's another interesting round. It's not going to be the best spy for EnVyUs coming in, but VP after that second round 4 spy got themselves straight back into this series. We can see now going for another heavy B-sided attack. Going to be one player in the form of Bialy. He's going to be put by A by himself. But 3 players for them going towards B, and it's MBK just on that jump shots again, trying to work out where he can spot them. But unfortunately for him, he's going to be flashed out, and I don't feel like he's done for this well. Needs to work out how he's going to approach the situation.
He does at least have Kenny S on short trying to support him on this, and Neo trying to bait it out, and Neo finds Kenny as well. Snacks on towards MBK, and Neo is playing out of his mind. Happy's going to switch up towards the dropped AWP, and when you've got someone like Happy, why not? Going to be peaked by several people, though. Nice little swing out from Snacks in conjunction with the others. And now Apex and Keo, the last two alive, and they're pretty far out of this. Again, VP showing some real strength on these B hits, and they're hitting shots I just do not expect most teams to be able to hit.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple approach. Just walking in, it's like that's the contact methodology. Just walking in together until you have a CT spot you. But they got all the way to the end of the apartments. Flashbangs come over, so MPK in a very difficult situation there. It's just Neo who opens it up with the AWP once more. So good for those opening frags. And then, like I said, MPK, just such a horrible position for him. As soon as he potentially could have got one, but he just gets taken down with no reply whatsoever. So that's another round going in favour of VP, and it's 11-11. Sadikis normally asks me to make a wish when it's 11-11. It's like an American thing. Like, I've never heard of it myself either. Have you ever heard of that? 11-11, make a wish? If you could make a wish right now, what would it be?
You just stop bullying me, Henry.
Yeah? Okay. Well, that's a wish we can actually grant. So
oh, wow, Henry, you're making my wishes
We're going to make
true.
it come true. That's what I do.
That's a horrific thought, but getting back to topic, Henry, as weird as you just took that, Happy is just getting absolutely pounded. Neo's taken the shot and just put him down, so good start, and I'm sure Happy is not wishing for that ever again.
Well, this is the thing. It's still another difficult bite. Like, EnVyUs have really yet to get rolling on this CT half. They're going to lose the first man once again. It's Happy that gets dropped by Neo, and actually some serious damage there through the smoke. Apex does manage to recover the situation. He goes down to 19 HP, and the 4-on-4 situation still favours the VP. I was about to say 4-on-4. It's a 4-on-3 now. As Kenny's going for quite an aggressive face there on towards short. Gets taken down, and this is looking very convincing indeed for the Polish squad.
But Apex could stop all of this. He could be such a nuisance, even on 19 HP.
He needs to act fast. So you can see VP now. They're doing that contact play once again. It's making their presence known on the A-bomb site. And it's going to be Kiyoshima that helps out, though. Now his position becomes a lot stronger, Apex, and he comes in and gets that frag, and this should be finally a round for EnVyUs to take.
Yeah, Taz and Neo left alive, but Neo is still alive, and that's another kill on the board for him, down to a 2v2. Apex can't do it against Taz, and suddenly it's Kyo, the man who started all of this for EnVy in this round. Left with a tough task at hand. The bomb is stuck in Palace, though.
That's really weird for Apex to do that, right? They know he's there, and why not force him to go into the bomb site first, and then like have to be like the difficult player behind them who's like making them question himself. The fact he just runs in and gives it away, that's always gifting the round to VP.
But doesn't this come back to almost what Semra was saying? You know, having that internal and kind of individual discipline as to how players approach these situations and the possibilities. Apex, and either he didn't know it or maybe suspected it, taking that fight either way wasn't a great choice. So maybe just frustrated as well. They've lost one map to Virtus.Pro.
Yeah.
Now they're getting pretty hammered here, actually, on their CT side, and they've gone back to the double AWP setup. This is a big investment, and already Kenny S gets tagged and sent back packing, and Virtus.Pro just picking up the pace here towards short, towards mid. Kyo's going to respond really well there, though. Picking up Pasha, going to deny the quick play towards short and keep this round at least just in control.
4-on-4. Kiyoshima gifted a kill above the smoke there. MBK trying to do what he can from short. Only has the fam. It's going to be falling back out of the round now. And we can see Apex just getting smothered all over the place. It's going to be yet another 3-on-2, and the CT's both rotating from the B site. And once again, Lauren, no kits purchased whatsoever. Snacks is going aggressive, of course. Takes down the headshot on MBK. Good they get the double here as well. Happy just with the AWP in a 3-on-1. I'd say he just needs to be saving this weapon at this point. We have to find 3 kills, and you have no kit. That's pretty much round over. He will be just opting out of the round, but VP, it's Snacks. Yeah, that's massive from him. Really interesting play. The fact he went aggressive there as well. Had he had died, that opens it up, but so confident in his ability. Just catches one of the CTs rotating by surprise, and could have got the double there on Happy as well, but he's lucky to get away alive.
And this seems like a very renewed Virtus.Pro. The play they're bringing out, the way they're playing, of course, it's still very reminiscent of what made them so strong, and Happy might be given a kill here.
It seems like they're taking Counter-Strike seriously now. They got to the boot camp, they've got a big event coming up this week, and they're actually playing like we expect VP to play, and like getting very close now to actually getting 2-0 against one of the world's best teams, and actually taking on Happy as well.
That's an ace for Snacks in the end.
Sick. Why not? Well, they go into this round with $3,400, obviously a maximum loss bonus, but look how many rounds in a row that is. That's actually 8 in a row for VP on the PC side of Mirage here. Pretty insane scenes.
This is extraordinary from Virtus.Pro, from a team that looked completely weak and broken. I don't think that's an exaggeration. 0-8 is not a scoreline you ever expect by this sort of caliber teams, to a team that is pretty formidable. They've kept the sort of archetype that they're known for, this very powerful mid control, but they've seemed to add to it and just make it even stronger at this point.
I'm going to remind you, this was a 10-5 start, and then VP just doing some serious work here. It's another eco coming in for EnVyUs now. There's pistols to work with. Desert Eagles and Kenny S could do something with this. They run past each other, and you have to feel like that's a little bit of an overcommitment there. But MBK trying to do something here, and he's doing it as well. Double kill with the Desert Eagle, make it a triple as well. Lovely stuff there. Just when EnVyUs needed a round, he delivers on all fronts. And it's just going to be Bialy now in the 4 versus 1. For me, that was a little bit of an overcommitment. Like, they feel like Virtus.Pro, they've been so disciplined in pushing mid control and actually working areas together. It's a quad kill for MBK, and it just actually jumps in towards the window, and then it's just a little bit of a panic reaction from VP there, and it's allowing MBK to pick up 4 very impressive frags there. Like, it's not the most beautiful kills, right? But they work. Like, they're so important in terms of the context of the game.
And Virtus.Pro, it seemed like they started to believe, right? They were like, it's okay, guys, we can just charge mid. But you do get reminded on several occasions, this is still EnVyUs. These guys are still beasts. You know, whatever they're on, pistols or not, it doesn't matter. So we're going to see the default coming out from Virtus.Pro, it seems. Maybe just the default play towards A, 2 towards Palace.
Yeah, this will be like, we haven't seen a proper, like, solid A execute coming from them yet. They're not really relying on them too much, but this time they're sending all 5 players there. Going to be Molotoving towards Shadow as well.
Oh, nice.
So this is actually a full A execute coming in. Go for that bomb plant, making it uncomfortable to CTs on the retake.
Go, nice little flash, but Keo holding a little bit of an off angle. It's Apex to pin down Snacks first, and they're just kind of running into what seems to be a slaughter at this point, but Neo doing the damage. That's 2 already. And now Keo doing everything he can to keep this round to hand, and he is doing something above and beyond. Kiyoshima, what a play from him. 3 kills, but absolutely integral.
That was pretty insane from Kiyoshima. That was such a massive round for EnVyUs. That would have been a full reset for them after winning the last one. And Kiyoshima up against the ropes there. Neo getting those flurry of frags there, and we've got to have a replay of this. So these 3 frags were very impressive. That second kill was nuts, and then pulls out the deagle, finishes him off. Good night, Bialy. And it's going to be 13-13. So EnVyUs, after so many rounds lost, are finally finding some footing in here in the second half. And all to play for now. Round number 12. And it's going to be a double AWP setup coming in from EnVyUs.
Triple AWP, apparently.
I couldn't see the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
okay.
MBK,
so,
Kenny, and Happy all going on it.
Okay, so when those executes come in, you've got triple AWPs. That's when that doesn't seem so cool anymore. So they need to be very careful, and we'll see what happens there.
To be fair, it seemed almost like a mistake. Keo just picked it up at the end of the round, so maybe a little bit of miscommunication, maybe. But then again, I'll doubt it when it doesn't work. But for now, it's going to be Apex, one of the 2 players with a rifle, to actually get a kill with it. Bialy goes down. That's going to remove at least the threat from A for now.
Well, 5-on-4 in favour of EnVyUs. Definitely coming to life in the last 2 rounds as an MBK play on short there. Got them back into this. And now Apex doing some work with that initial kill onto Bialy. Still have that triple AWP set up there, so interested to see how they approach the situation. You can see VP trying to work towards middle. They have players onto connector, one in window as well. Just trying to find a pick. Neo's been so good for them, so reliable. Just seeing if anyone will give him an inch, because you know that guy will take a mile. There it is. Every time.
Unbelievable. Kenny? 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 Hello?
How many times?
I don't know how many times this guy can do ridiculous things. It's not the fact he's being consistent or clutching, it's these crazy shots, but it's Kenny again, but it is a 3v3, Henry. Now they're down to the 2 orbs, but again, Apex's aggression towards ramp has paid dividend, and then some. Neo's going to have to try and lock this off, but there's pressure left, right, and center. He's going for a risky plant towards short here, and while this happens, MBK's on his way around. He's going to try and swing on the shot, but now suddenly it's just down to Snacks, and Snacks has found 1. He's found 2. He's gone for the 3rd, but MBK hits the shot when it matters, and EnVyUs just about keep hold of that round.
Yeah, crazy rounds here. Like Apex opening things up on the lower ramp. This is showing a little bit of aggression. Finds the first kill, gets 2 for it as well. But Snacks made that very interesting indeed. It was like a 3-on-1, but that plant from VP was very questionable. They knew there was a player towards jungle. When they go for the fully open plant, you realise as they're planting, this is actually a really stupid idea. Like, shall we stop doing this? And it was too late. Kenny S has already swung out and got the first kill, but Snacks made it very interesting at least. And now they go back to a double AWP setup, which is a lot more favourable, and I actually prefer that. Well, in any scenario, triple AWP setup isn't really a thing. It leads you to horrible retakes, and if a full smoke execute comes in, it can be very difficult to handle as well. So the smoke off towards connector helps when you're going towards middle. Bursting through a flashbangs takes away vision from the CTs and gives you full control of connector here. But EnVyUs now, a few rounds in a row, and actually 1 away from map point as well. You can see Neo on the scout there, clutching her straws there.
Well, he's actually turned the flash as well. This is massive. Doesn't deliver quite as much as before, but why not leave it down to Kiyoshima, who's doing absolutely wonderfully again for the EnVyUs side. This guy is going above and beyond to keep hold of it. Snacks trying to do some damage, and actually, they're lined up pretty damn low.
Oh, okay.
That got a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that again, Keo. You got 3 very nicely, but don't risk it on
such low HP. He could have got the double spray down, and all of a sudden he's in the driving seat. But Kiyoshima, once again, like you said, phenomenal work on this A bomb side. Such strong play from him. His Apex to open things up. Same position once again. Kiyoshima does find 3. Doesn't even need headshots. Just doing work with the body, and it's going into potentially the last round here. EnVyUs have bounced back after an 8-round deficit It's broken the economy of VP as well. You can see they've got Tech 9s, Galils, not much in terms of utility. It's all going to come down to straight up headshots here. Taz sneaking through the smoke. And it's quite a passive round from the CTs. No one really committing too much. KennyS has pushed off short with the AWP.
Now, to be fair, their B hits leading up to the last, I guess, few rounds between have been extraordinary.
Sure.
But then again, is it time to risk it all on what could be the final round here? Maybe just take their time, try and find some information. It's been hard to look past the fact that Kiyoshima's been a monster at holding that A site. Apex has been doing well with the aggression. Virtus.Pro are going to have to really consider their options here. How can they utilize what they have left into this round? And Nade not going to help things out. And they're already hunting towards short. 2 players there. One to go towards window. KennyS the other. Snacks, though, opens it up. And there you have it. Can they finally make it deliver, though? There's still Kiyoshima on towards his side, as is Apex.
Well, they are making their way to the A bomb site now, making their presence known. Bialy's going to be the first one, but Apex, great positioning here. Does manage to take down one. Got the smoke to help him out as well. VP are aware of his position, but gets the double. And this is actually coming down to a 2-on-2 now. 1 round required for EnVyUs to take this, but Neo has other ideas. This 1v1 means everything, and MBK takes it. And that's going to be the second map going in favor of EnVyUs. It's going to be 1-1. And after such a successful T campaign, after going down 10-5, you felt like VP getting back into this one. It's a little disappointing way to finish it, but there you go. MBK decides their fate to finish things off. Very exciting scenes towards the end.
I think it's suddenly a sign of life from what looked like a done and dusted Virtus.Pro then. Suddenly showing back up. And as you said, the string of rounds they're starting to bring together on that T side. Neo, what a huge bit of work from him individually.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so many clutches going in their favor and actually making sure they're approaching every situation perfectly. That round from Snacks especially comes to mind when he's getting in towards jungle and they're going for the B hits there. There's great fundamentals and really good approaches to the actual Mirage play on the T side. But it was MBK towards short that actually opens things up with that quad kill with the Deagle and stuff like that.
The ugly Deagle.
Ugly Deagle, but it was such a huge round for them and kind of got the morale back within the team. And then Kiyoshima, he needs a shout out as well.
Oh, massive.
Really fascinating stuff from him.
Well, I think we've had a fantastic kind of display coming out from Virtus.Pro. Finally getting their first win on the board out of this series on Cobble. However, not going to make it the double yet. Envy picked that one up. So, guys, we still have another game to go tonight. That'll be Mousesports up against NIP. Last round, NIP certainly impressed us.
Yeah.
Let's see how they fare up against Mousesports after the break.